Hello everybody, it is Monday, April 15th. I spent the morning in Oceanside taking a class with the Jazzercise team. It was packed. How many people do you think were in the class?
75,
75
80 maybe.
women.
Yeah.
They were flowing out into the lobby. So the reason why the class is really special is because Judy was there.
Well, I didn't teach this morning, but
She
daughter
worked out right next to me today. I was so flattered. I was actually nervous when you pulled up.
You were so good.
I tried. It's been a while. I let everyone know that I was at a bachelorette party all weekend.
Yeah.
It's a good way to jumpstart my body and get back into the swing of things, even though I'm not at home. And that's what I've really enjoyed learning about Jazzercise is that there's a real community feeling that you all have created there no matter where you go. And every time I walk into a Jazzercise studio, I feel welcome and I feel at home, and I know I'm going to get a really good workout, and I know I'm going to start my day off with a higher energy level than I've ever had. So
that makes me very happy because that's part of our mission, is to be able to do that. And in class this morning you saw there's just, and you've probably seen in other classes, such a mix of people.
Such a wide variety of ages. Whenever I've been talking to people saying, I did my post in January for the Richmond, Virginia studio, and that pretty much went viral. But when I told people I was working with Jazzercise, they were like, really? That's still around? I was like, you guys wouldn't believe how many people, were in the classes I took just back in Richmond, Virginia, but the response that I got from the post and how many women went out of their way to comment on the Instagram post, the Facebook post, and the blog post just to tell me that, that I had captured the vibe of the experience, but how much it really meant to them as women and knowing that they had ground zero to always come back to, and it's not just about fitness by any means.
I think it shouldn't be. It never has been, and I don't think it should be. I think it needs to be about that sense of community, and that years ago we had a little slogan when I was first starting out, and the slogan was fitness, friendship, and fun.
I love that.
I know, and it really is true today. The same thing, it's about fitness. Of course, you're going to get healthy and fit, but it's also about friendship because you make so many friends in class, and we really try to create that fun environment and that welcoming. Come on in, and people made friends that otherwise they'd never be friends with those people.
Yeah, why else would they have interacted?
Exactly, and
that's really
so
cool.
that's I think is important, and I think that's how you become healthy, emotionally, as well as physically.
Well, they say that community is one of the biggest factors to, you've read about blue zones, people who live the longest around the world.
Right.
And there's like 8 factors, and one of the factors is community, and so you definitely provide that.
Yeah.
Well, take me back in time, and what was it like to start Jazzercise, and why? What really inspired you? What was the purpose for you?
Yeah. Well, I started doing the program. The class began in Chicago, in the Chicago area. I was going to Northwestern University, and I was working professionally in a dance company and teaching for the company studio. And primarily I taught morning classes because I was going to school and my schedule was such that I had the mornings free. So I taught morning classes. Most of the people in my classes were women who were stay-at-home moms, mostly.
Right.
And they would come and I'd see them and then they'd go away. And I thought, something wrong with me. What am I doing wrong? I'm not teaching this correctly. So I thought, well, ask them, what's happening. And so I did, and they said, you know what? It's not, the class is good, but you're teaching it like we're going to go on and become professional dancers, when in fact we don't want to be a professional dancer, we just want to look like one. And that was the aha moment. So I got an empty studio, I tried a new program, turned people away from the mirror, I became the mirror, I made it fun and easy to follow. And based it in jazz dance technique, lots of variety of music, lots of positive encouragement for those folks. And the first class I had 15 people, then I had 30, then I had 60.
Exponential growth.
Yeah, and then, we were on our way. But it wasn't until I got to California where things really took off and that was in the 70s. My daughter, Shanna, my husband, and myself moved here to Southern California because my husband had family here.
Okay.
And I thought, well, I'll try this little class that I was doing. Well, California's the state of body beautiful and health and fitness and everybody. Even
a lot of
back
beautiful
then,
people here.
yeah, and even back then it was. And so I started teaching, and pretty soon I had so many classes, I lost my voice. I was teaching like 25, 30 classes a week, which most people who do this for a living, fitness or jazzercise or whatever you do, 25 to 30 classes is not a good thing.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and so I trained, the doctor said I had nodules in my vocal cords, and if I didn't do something differently, I could lose my voice permanently. So I trained 5 women, and they had been in my classes, and they had dance backgrounds, and I just thought, okay, I'm just going to see what happens, and gave them some of my classes, and we were off and running, and by 1980 I had 1,000 instructors all over the country.
1,000, from 5 to 1,000.
Yeah, and then I could go on and tell you this whole story, but what happened was, at that point I had an attorney, I had an accountant, you got to have all that stuff, and they both said to me, you have to make another change now. And I said, what is that? And they said, you have to either make these instructors that you have independent, who were independent contractors, but they really didn't fit into that mold. So they said, you either have to make them employees or franchisees, because you don't fit anymore as an independent contractor. So I thought, well, I sure don't want to make them employees, because I want them to have a sense of owning their own business and having control over it. And so franchising was a way to go, so that they would feel like they had control over what they were doing, and they could do with it what the need is
in their area,
they
their
had.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Today we have over 8,000 all over the world, so I guess it worked.
8,000. I would say that it worked. A lot of them found me just through that post, and I think those kinds of big decisions are really interesting for a lot of us female entrepreneurs out there. And making those changes, those are really big decisions that, and when you make those decisions, they impact people's lives. And,
they do. More than just your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you really have to be aware of the messages that are out there as you're moving along. There are always messages and cues and signals and signs that tell you when you need to change. But you have to be aware of them, and then think things through, and not be afraid to move on and take some risks. And this is my business expertise here.
Well, I say you got something to say to everyone. You've grown a successful business, and someone said on the way in that you were the largest female employer in the area here. Is that right?
Yes.
And so how many people work for Jazzercise as a whole?
As employees?
Yes.
Well, as employees, we have, I guess, around 200. But as franchisees, there's actually almost 8,500.
8,500.
Yeah. Mainly, they are female. We do have some great guys.
There's a male instructor in Richmond. Frank. Hi, Frank.
Hi.
He really kicked butt when he was teaching the class. That's really awesome. So what's your favorite, because you actually do the workouts now.
Oh yeah, well, and I still teach. I have
teach at the Oceanside location, or I guess you could teach at other.
I do, and then I do choreography as well. So I'm still busy.
I can tell that you're busy. So
I like to be. I love it. It's my passion. That's another thing I would say.
What a wonderful thing.
Yeah, for entrepreneurs to find your passion. Decide what it is you want to do, and then move with it. But you know, you have to. I think when you're passionate about something, it means you love it, and if you love what you do, you get to do what you love every day.
Every day, and you wind up doing better work when you love what you do.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh well, you know what? It helps you dream big dreams. It helps you work hard to achieve the dreams.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you to listen to the voice inside, the voice of truth,
which is usually right.
Yeah,
always right, honestly.
Almost always right. And it helps you to just be able to be okay with being different, because usually people who are very passionate, I have always found, are just a little bit different, and that's okay, because I think it means you're unique and special.
Yeah.
I think passion also helps you find a purpose in what you're doing, because I think passion without purpose doesn't work. And by purpose, I mean making a difference in the world, whatever it might be. Maybe you're making a better, nut and bolt, and it changes the way manufacturing is done or whatever. But there has to be a purpose behind your passion. And then I think the last thing is people who are passionate are like magnets, and they attract other people. And a lot of times it's other people who believe in what you're passionate about.
Sure.
And then from there, they bring to the table their passions. And together you work, and wow, it's
bigger impact.
Well, and you just can't believe what you can accomplish.
That's amazing.
There's my lecture for the day.
Oh, bring it on. That's what I'm here for.
And now I'll have a drink. This is not wine, it's Dr. Pepper.
Cherry
Yes.
Dr. Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drinking celery juice.
Healthier than what I have.
Well, again, I was in Vegas all weekend. So
Oh, okay.
I'm recovering. I'm making up for some poor food decisions for sure. Really, we have some great food out there. I'm excited to try some local food here as well.
Oh, that's good. How fun. But I know those weekends. I don't do those anymore, but I remember.
Oh, my cousin's getting married.
Oh, how fun.
Whatever she wants is what I'm doing.
It's her deal, right?
Yeah, I'm glad. So you have a book.
I do.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Well,
What's it about?
it's not out yet.
It'll
be out June 25th. And if you want to buy it, pre-order it from Amazon or Barnes & Noble or
I'll
Indie
find a link
Books
to that.
or wherever. It's called Building a Business with a Beat. And
I love that.
I thought of that title. I was proud of that,
Did you come up with the title before or after you read the book? Or during?
Oh, I actually have been, giving keynote speeches and things like that. And so I use that as a title of a speech. And then when I decided to write the book, I just thought, I love that. So let's see. And the publisher liked it, and the editor, and so here we are.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what's the book about, and what can people expect?
Yeah, it's like a business memoir. So it's fun because there's a lot of stories in it that sort of back up the business advice. So it's an interesting read, but you learn from it too. And especially for people that want to go into business, that are entrepreneurial in their thinking, and it just gives some real key, I think, ideas about how to go about doing what you love and making it into something that works for you and create winning situations for the people you're serving and for yourself and the people who are working with you. Yeah. So,
cool. What was it like to write a book? Did you enjoy it?
Well, it was daunting.
Yeah.
I had to say, because I had to remember things. I had to remember.
You have so much knowledge. You just want to make sure you don't leave anything out either, right?
And I'm sure I did, but or people.
Well, that would be the second book.
Yeah. Well, people. Actually, this is my third book. I've written two others, but they were a long time ago.
Okay.
And they were more exercise, fitness books.
Okay.
This one doesn't have one exercise in it. Physical. Maybe there's some mental. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, but it was daunting because it's taken over a year. and just trying to remember factual things and all. The good thing is we really kept good records of things as we went along, and that's
a rock star staff. I met a bunch of them on the way in.
Oh yeah,
you seem like you got a really strong team here.
Very awesome. I mean, it's like I said before, it's about attracting the right kind of people, and having people that are positive. Surround yourself with those kind of people that are smarter than you. I always like that, and they just lift you up. We work together.
That's awesome.
And that's it's I talk a little bit about that, and luckily, as I was writing the book, my husband was a journalist, and so a very good record keeper. And he kept everything. As a matter of fact, one of those bordering on pack rat, but not really. But thank God,
passionate people are a little weird, right?
Yeah, because he has pictures. We did newsletters back then because
like
there wasn't
any.
There wasn't any internet then. So the way we communicated with other folks and other franchisees around the world was with all of these newsletters, which he edited and worked with some other instructors who helped them with that.
Cool.
And so that was a wonderful resource for us. Thank goodness we have that. So
that's awesome. So you put all the pieces together and stuff.
So
one of your rock star employees is your daughter.
Oh yes.
What's it like working with your daughter, and how did you start to bring her into the family business?
It is.
Shana's the president. Is that correct?
Yes, she's the president. Yeah, and she is incredible.
She's an incredible instructor.
Yeah.
I've never taken a lot of fitness classes, as you guys know, and she's probably one of the best instructors in general I've ever experienced.
Yeah, so. She's very good. She's great on stage. She is a good businesswoman.
That's
great. She is creative and innovative, and wanting to move ahead and take some different approaches to things, which I love that. And because again, we're talking change, you have to change. We're here 50 years this year, and we wouldn't be here if we hadn't changed. Now that is kind of a double-edged sword. But because, people say, oh, Jazzercise, I remember you when, and, are you still the same? Are you still here? Whatever. Yes, we are here, and we're stronger than ever. And one of the reasons for that is that we have always incorporated change. Because if we hadn't changed, we wouldn't still be here.
Yeah.
It's... And
it shows in your classes.
Yeah.
They're using really modern music. That's like on the radio.
Yeah.
And the moves feel modern.
Yeah.
And I love when you speckle in hip hop into the classes.
Yeah.
And it's just...
And we have high intensity interval training.
Yes.
We have fusion classes that are like circuit training classes. We have core classes and cardio box classes and muscle mix classes and strength classes. So, we have something for everybody, and a variety of things that change. The choreography changes all the time. Every 10 weeks, we supply our franchisees with about 90 new bits of material, routines for them to teach. So it's always current, and it's always different.
Yeah.
There's a variety, and I think that's one of the reasons we have a lot of veteran instructors, but veteran customers as well.
Sure.
They've found something they can stick with. They've made friends. They've seen their bodies change. They don't need much more, Yeah.
Absolutely, I could see that. It's a killer workout. I'm definitely going to be sore tomorrow. My abs are definitely going to be sore. My butt's going to be sore.
Yeah, that one on the floor, that was, I remember that one. That was good.
There are a couple arm tracks. I just hadn't done arms in a while.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited. I'm excited to be sore.
Yeah, I am too.
So how often do you teach, and how often do you attend classes?
Yeah, well, pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I teach usually 3 times a week. Yeah.
Pretty good.
And because to do choreography and stay on that cutting edge, you know, you have to be in touch with the people that are doing it.
That's so great that you do that and buffer that into your life.
And I love it. It's, you know, I love teaching. I love meeting the customers. I love
community.
You know, dancing. It's, you know, it just brings you a joy. The music, the movements, and the people. I always feel
really uplifted.
Yeah.
The
endorphins go.
The endorphins really get you going, and I like taking it in the. I know that there are night classes, but back in Richmond, I always took a morning class.
Yeah,
and
I like morning.
Yeah, it always got me started off really great, and the fact that you have a variety of start times works with someone like me too, because I don't wake up at 6 a.m. because I work for myself, so I don't have to, and you know, sometimes I'm creative at night, and so I really like those 9:30, 10:30 classes. They work really well for me to kickstart my day.
Yeah, that is a good time. Yeah, it's probably our most popular time.
I was surprised to see how full it was, but there were a lot of moms there. Jazzercise offers childcare, which I think is rare and amazing. Yeah, and I really noticed that in Richmond as well. But a lot of moms, I guess, they'll take their children to school, drop them off, and they'll come right afterwards. And that's the time slot that works for some of them. That's the best slot,
And, you know, we've always had childcare.
That's great.
From the very beginning when I first started doing this out here, I used to take all the I had a little yellow Honda and a little hatchback. They don't even make that style anymore, of course. But and I used to take all the toys and stick them in the back in the hatchback, and then my sister-in-law would come with me, and she'd be the babysitter. And sometimes we just have to be out in the lobby of wherever I was teaching, but we have the toys, and you know, and it really it is so helpful because you know, that way you have a place to take your child, and it's right there with you, and it's just I think it's necessary. Not on every time slot, but the main ones. Yeah.
Well, and I think, you know, those moms deserve to have access to a great workout too.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are some other things that you do in life to maintain a healthy balance and take care of yourself? I'm always curious about really busy women like you. Who, you know, you help other women be healthy, but what are little things that you work into your day that keep you peaceful and keep you focused?
Yeah. I think that's really important. I think that mind, body, spirit connection is really important as a business person, as a person, you know. So some of the things I do, I love to read, and I love mysteries. For just, you know, as a theme, I like mysteries. I love nature.
There's a lot of it out here.
Yeah, a lot.
So
and
beautiful
where we
out
live
here.
is quite rural, and we have 3 dogs, and I love taking my dogs for a walk. That's just before I came and met you, that's where I was.
And awesome. So you fit that into your day.
Yeah, I did.
Love that.
We did class, and I met my husband. We took him for the walk, and then I showered, and here I am.
Cool.
But that is just you know, I like being out in nature. It's kind of a spiritual thing for me, and so I try to do that. I try to take time for myself, you know, not having to do anything. Maybe take a nap. I mean,
everyone knows I write a lot. I take a nap almost every day.
Yeah, I love naps. Good for you.
It's a good 30 minutes or whatever time I have. I do it. Just resets my brain.
Yeah.
For people like us who think all the time.
Right.
But
and you get up refreshed.
It's yours.
As long as you
don't
sleep too long.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we're back. And you know, the other thing is, I think being of service is a good way to balance giving back, whether you're volunteering or mentoring somebody.
What are some of your favorite causes?
Well,
you have a lot of art here. I noticed.
Artists, I guess, are my favorite causes. We do a lot of exhibitions for artists here because this office is very open, and it's very conducive to displaying art. So every 4 to 5 months, I guess, we pick certain pieces, and it's displayed all over our corporate headquarters.
That's what they were saying.
Yeah, and it's like a lease program, and it exposes artists, because we have a lot of people who come through here from all over.
Like me.
And, yeah. And we're so happy you're here.
Thank you.
And then, you know, it just helps the local artists have a place to show their pieces, and maybe somebody buys them.
Yeah.
I think that is really important. So I love doing things like that in the art community.
Love that.
Working with the local high school dance teams, and
that makes a lot of sense. That's probably really cool for someone.
Yeah, and you know, things that are artistic in nature. I guess I think I just feel like the arts are kind of left behind in this country. You know, there's not a lot of funding, and there's not a lot of places that young artists can go to be exposed, their artwork exposed. So that's probably my favorite cause.
I love that.
Yeah. And then of course we do a lot of charitable events. We do a lot of fundraisers. We've raised over $30 million for different
$30 million.
Yeah.
Wow, that must feel so good. I think I used to do fundraising for 8 years, and
wow,
that's something I always said, you know, one day I want to be able to give the way that I see people give, and I work with people. I used to work with people like you to give and find the thing that spoke to them.
Yeah.
And such a powerful way to use your success.
It is. And the thing is, a lot of companies have a favorite charitable cause, and they try to gather all their people behind that. But we've always let all of our people choose, you know, whatever they want to do, whatever the franchisee wants to do. Yeah.
That's really great.
And that's, I like to be able to do that. And that's like last year, there's a ship that is in retirement in San Diego called the Midway, quite a famous ship, big naval thing with aircraft carrier and everything. And so we did a big fundraiser for breast cancer on that last year, and we had over 1,000 people on the deck of the ship dancing, and we raised over $100,000.
That sounds like so much fun.
In 2 hours, you know, and it was. It's always, we've done this kind of thing in San Diego for the last 10 or so years, primarily done by 2 instructors in San Diego that have put it together, and then I just always offer, you know, my services to help in whatever way and teach and that kind of thing. Great. But yeah, those things are fun, you know.
That's
you
awesome.
Get to go and work out and raise money and give money and help people, and
that's great. Not a bad life.
Not bad. Not bad.
The fact that you bring so many people along with you is really awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Anything else you're excited about? You got your book. Anything else coming up at Jazzercise?
We do have our 50th anniversary celebration coming up in June.
I saw that.
Right, just a few days after the book comes out, so it's good timing. We have several thousand people coming to that.
Maybe I'll come back to San Diego.
That'd be fun. The opening night gala is going to be an incredible show, party. It's just, and then the next day is just filled with classes, all kinds of classes you can imagine.
Yeah.
And then a big finale class, which will incorporate some of our oldies, you know, the old songs that people like, the classics, with
what
all
are some
the
of
brand
the classic
new
songs?
things. Well, you know, people always loved really disco stuff, you know. They like Donna Summer and Diana Ross and some of her songs, and the Pointer Sisters, and Kool and the Gang, and Casey and the Sunshine
Ooh, I love
Boys
that.
or Gang or something. You know, just those kinds of songs are just classics.
Love it.
So we'll incorporate some of those if I can remember them, and then we have all the brand new stuff, because we will have just taped a whole brand new set of routines the week before, so we'll put those in. So those will be material that no one has seen.
Cool.
So, you know, they'll be excited about that. So
that sounds like a lot of fun, a lot of work.
Yeah, it's
a lot of fun.
It's a lot of work, and we have a museum, so it'll be a walk kind of down history, you know.
Love it.
Yeah, so they start with the beginning and to the current, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and
that's awesome.
And it's a nice way to just tie things up after all this time, you know.
50 years.
Yeah. Well,
that's why Jazzercise originally found me. They wanted to kick off the year in January and let Richmond know how exciting 50 years is. And there were women in the first class I went to. They had, they said, we're going on the room. How many years have you been doing Jazzercise?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I can't remember what I wrote in my blog post, but I think there was someone who'd been doing it for 35 years at least. Someone who almost like was booking into 40.
Yeah.
And so I think that says a lot. And most of the class was at least 5 years already. So I think that says a lot that you've built a brand that people are so willing to be a part of and stick with over time.
Yeah.
So you deserve to celebrate.
Thank you.
Yourself
and, we will.
And your family.
And we'll continue
business.
Because, you know, as my daughter moves forward, she'll be doing all these great innovative things, and I'll just come along for the ride.
Well, she's pretty incredible. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you for chatting with me. I really had a great time to give you a little hug.
Thank you.